All right. Transconator, what's going on? Just woke up. I haven't looked at the prices. I think Bitcoin went below 70K. I saw something, guy posted something on Coin Bureau. I honestly don't really look too much at prices anymore. I actually, you know, the price is up. Just go by the sentiment. Just take a look at on X. If everybody's talking about moons and Lambos and up only, well, probably a pretty damn good day. I don't expect anything to happen until after this election. I really don't expect anything to happen until 2025. Seth says, is it SWI? Is it near? I have a lot of layer ones. It's a pretty smart idea. Some people will say that, no, it's only Solana. Or no, it's only Ethereum. Or it's only going to be, you know, Aptos or whatever. I just don't see it. There's too many variables that's going on. Like, look at that story from Immutable X. Immutable X is a pretty damn good layer 2 solution, especially for gaming, especially for how fast it is and how cheap it is. And it just gets railroaded 16, 17% just because Gary says, you know what? I don't care what you guys say about you want clarity, we're going to get you. And then they plummet. Now, the people will say, but Rob, this is an excellent opportunity. All I got to do is just buy that dip and just, you know, wait it all out. Let me ask you this. How's that working for the XRP army right now? Just saying. So I am a bigger believer in diversity because I am not going down with the ship for one specific chain as far as anything below number 2. Go from there. Now with Bitcoin, I'm like, it's a bit different. I wish Base had a token. Yeah, that was a pretty smart idea by Brian Armstrong and the team over at Coinbase, just to say, you know what, we're not going to do any tokens. We're not going to have that. We don't want, and you know what, it makes sense now, because if they had a token come out, what do you think the chances are they would have been sued and had a Wells notice against them by Gary Gensler and the SEC? Pretty damn high. And if that's the case, if you're a multi-billion-dollar company, you're like, we can't take the hit on our token, and we especially can't take the hit, thumbs up, and we especially can't take the hit for our stockholders. So that was a pretty smart idea. And then they're getting revenue just from the fees. Gas fee says, Solana and SWI are way too young for any serious players that actually use it. Meme coins are not international finance. They want the network to run for at least 10 years without issues. It's a great point. And it's one that I talked about. I should have talked about it again. If you are a multi-billion, multi-trillion asset manager, say like BlackRock, there's a reason why you're picking Ethereum when all of us are like, that's so stupid, their fees are so high. The reason why they're doing it, it's just like what gas fee says. If you want something to actually work, what's worse? You missing out on some sales because you went for another chain, or the chain that you pick absolutely collapses and there's a hack and you lose billions or even trillions of dollars of your investors' funds. Obviously, if you lose the investor funds, guess what happens? Not only did you lose those funds, now you're going to get sued. And you're going to get sued so bad, you're going to get sued out of existence. And it's going to be so tough for you, it's going to make your business a hellhole. So they went with Ethereum, and it's a pretty good idea, I think. I think. But yeah, and remember, this is on, and we talked about this a couple of days ago. They're using this, it's called BIDL, kind of like HODL, BUIDL. And what they want to do is real world assets token allocation, which makes a lot of sense. Let's say you have a skyscraper and it's worth $5 billion, right? And you're able to tokenize that to millionaires. They're like, great. And they're from all over the world. And you're like, well, what's the fees? Well, our fee is this and this fee is that. Oh, also, there's these things called gas fees in Ethereum, and it's like $200. Okay. When you're a multi-millionaire and you're investing into these big, huge assets, you don't care a couple $100. We care because we're like, hey, what the hell just happened? I'm trying to get tomato coin on a layer 1 for a meme coin that's not working out. I got to pay $50 for that? That's why we're the plebs. Rob, if you informed Dan he got a Wells notice. No, but if that happens, Dan is taking a big, long vacation. Taking notes. Are you still going to keep your Immutable X? I have some, but honestly, it's not that much. I'll probably just write it out because it's not even worth it selling right now. I don't like to sell into weakness, and that's exactly what it is. Maybe it XRPs me, right? It becomes a stable coin. And I'm like, well, that sucks. I'll sell later. Rob, honestly, you think ETH is dead with no future? Just keep bleeding like most alts? You know, in the beginning, I was thinking that was going to happen because it made a lot of sense, right? Who the hell's using Ethereum? But we took a look at those TVLs. It seems like it's flowing into SWI and Solana, other ones, but you can see clearly that it's flowing into some of these layer 2 solutions. And again, it was a good point. Gas fee says, well, you know, it's been battle tested. It's worked pretty well. However, I will remind you that PayPal, they chose two chains. They chose, great, balloons. They chose two chains to be used on their stablecoin, the PYUSD, and that was Ethereum, and that was Solana. And then for their next evolution of what they're doing, they said they're going to use Solana. So maybe that is the fastest horse. I see 3. Who was here first? I'll be in Cancun during the election. I messed up and didn't request my mail-in ballot time. My future's in your hands. No matter what happens, gives it 6 months. Actually, my future's in everybody else's hands. I'm in Puerto Rico. I have no ability to vote for the president. Sweet DeFi is hot. Yeah. I did a video on how to buy anything, anywhere, at any time. And one of the tokens I bought was a meme coin called Blub to make things, it was kind of, not to make things difficult, but just to show everybody that you can do whatever you want to do as far as DEX, as long as you know it. That's why I invest in Aerodrome. That's a good one. Digital assets, US. Probably playing golf today over in Florida. Dan is spot on. Chop through year end with some pumps. Bowman will pump. Top, fast, cheap project. Strap in. True. And, 2025, we'll see. Liquidity's right around the corner. Yeah, Daniel's right. I think they would have gotten sued. It's not like they're not on the radar. Immutable X is, let's be honest, small potatoes for SEC. But if you got a publicly traded company who is putting out a token, they're generating massive revenue. Not revenue, selling the token with the stipulation and the understanding that, of course, whatever Coinbase does, it'll increase the valuation. That would go against Howey and all that stuff. But I don't know. That Howey test is so archaic. I don't understand why we're still using that in this day and age. Hey, Naz is here. Mark, and everybody else remind me when Mark asked for this. Next time I'll see you, I'll give you a wrench. The bull market is finally here. It's almost here. I feel it. It feels good. It's just everybody's, I feel like everybody's holding their breath for the presidential election. They're just like, well, if my person gets in, then it's going to work. We'll see. I will remind you, people will say that, like we talked about this yesterday. I remember in 2016 when Trump got in and everybody thought that the markets would rally just like that, but it didn't. If you take a look, if you go back to the S&P 500 to that first week of November after the first Tuesday, actually you saw a bit of a dip in the markets because they're like, what? Huh? They didn't really know what was going on and they got a little fear. They got a little afraid. Fear and greed, right? So I don't know if that's going to happen this same time. I think people know what they're going to get with Trump. I think people know what they're going to get with Harris. So we'll see. Actually, I can't say they know what they're going to go with Harris because I don't know what we're going to get with Harris. So if I don't know, and she's like, but I'm going to do this and this, maybe I don't know if they'll get it. I will just say like this. I think if Trump gets in, there won't be a drop because they know what they're going to get. I think with Harris, there will be a drop in the markets. But what does that mean? That means that, well, did anything change? I mean, is there still quantitative easing going on? Is there still Fed rate cuts going on? Is the GDP still increasing, 2.8% last time? Yeah, so might be okay just to buy that dip, but not financial advice. IOTA, holy smokes, that's an old one. Jay Sons, you've been around for a long time. Polygon or Matic, what was called Matic, now Pole, is following IOTA through the path of oblivion. IOTA, man, that was supposed to be the next big thing. And they were integrating with BMW. I don't know if you remember that story a long time ago. And everybody flipped the F out. And they said IOTA is going to be the next great thing. And now, I don't even know. You know, I'm talking trash about a token that might be still in the top 100. I don't know. Oh, 179. I take it back. Let's see. Yeah, it's not good, man. This is, I remember this one, 2017. Ooh, it was big time. $5. Now it's worth 11 cents. And it couldn't even hit the all-time high back then. I don't expect IOTA to do anything this cycle. You only get one cycle to show what you're worth. And after that, people want to go to the next shiny object. I know people say, well, utility, Rob, utility. I don't know, man, because Chainlink seems to be integrated everywhere with everything. And it's like a stable coin. And I still believe in it. I think it'll work, but I just kind of think that it's all speculation of what we're doing here. Yeah, see, here's another one. Well, no, I take that back. It came out, wow, it came November 8th, 2017 for 22 cents. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong on this one. I still hold a bunch of it, so I'm sure hoping it does go up. That would be fantastic. Ondo Finance, that's another one. Real world assets. I think that's backed by BlackRock as well. I like on it for sure. Can you buy Moon well on Coinbase? I don't know about that one. Remember, watch that video where I talk about, you know, you can buy anything and sell anything. You can find everything that you want. Even if you're an American citizen, you can actually buy everything. Yeah, see, I read today that BlackRock is using ETH for the tokenization. There you go. Yeah. Metalor says, people fail to realize that transaction on ETH might be expensive, but it's for us that want to move $200 and pay $30 in fees, but for the top dogs, they gladly pay $30 to move 1 million. It's true. It's very, very true. And here's another thing. Like if you're moving a boatload of money, like I just moved funds from one bank account to another bank account. And it was a new bank and I had to do a wire transfer. If you're in Europe, or any place outside the United States, I'm gonna say something that's gonna blow your mind, which is from bank to bank in America, not all banks, but a lot of them, it takes sometimes 24 to 72 hours to happen. And I know you guys in the EU, you were like, especially in the UK, you're like, what? Usually it takes seconds. Why do you guys do that? It's because we suck at banking in America. And then also you gotta pay 20 to 30 bucks as far as a wire transfer goes. So, you know, I think Metalor's got a pretty good point here. Shark Puncher, have a good day, buddy. What's with the right screen? Trying something different, especially with the thumbnail. I just wanted to see if, like, because you guys know what you're going to get with me, right? I'm not going to give you some crazy price prediction. I'm not going to go over the moon for some project. I'm not going to give you the most hopium, but I'm going to be real as much as I possibly can and give you both sides of the story. So I'm like, well, everybody knows that. So why do I have to put an elaborate thumbnail together? Everybody knows me by now. And as time goes on, maybe that'll be the big thing. I'll be honest with you. As time goes on, I really don't want to deal with the tourists that are coming in. So maybe I'll just stick with the people I have here. That'd be way better. Either my speaker is dying or my microphone is. It could be my microphone. I did a new, whoa. Let me see something. Da, da, da. Okay. Wow. That is something. Let me know if this is clipping like before. I wonder what happens like this. No, it's the same thing. Yeah, audio. Oh, one more thing. Let me try this. Let me try this. How's that sound now? I see. We know you, Dan. Or was it Rob? Alts will keep getting squeezed, in my opinion. Darren's probably right. I think it's same thing that Ben has. Oh, it's better sound. God damn it. Should have used that button a long time ago. It's just muffled slightly. Sounds good, better, muffled slightly. Who's using headphones? Both on TV and iPad, much better. Well, there he goes. Okay. Just button, hold the air, and I should probably have used that in the beginning. Okay. Heavy banana. Ben and the rest will be very bullish on alts in the middle of the alt season. By then, it'll be risky to buy alts. Yeah, I think it's risk versus reward. Like, I was dollar cost averaging some alts in 2022. Didn't really work out too well. 2023, yeah, okay, towards the end. No, actually, no, 2023 is not bad because just pick the right ones, you'd be okay. I picked some good ones and some not so good ones. But it doesn't really matter. It's just like I look at it as like VC, like being a venture capitalist. You're not going to get a bunch of winners all the time. You just got to pick your battles and just go, okay, well, this one's going to make it. If I get 2 or 3 out of 10 that makes it, that makes up for everything else that I screwed up on. That's pretty much it. OM says, did you do push-ups this morning? I do push-ups every morning. It's the easiest workout you can possibly do. Doug, that's why I like Doug. We suck at banking, but our government always bails them out. Makes perfect sense. I would like to applaud. Be like Ben and use a bomb shelter background. It's nice. It's a nice backdrop he's got. Seth says ultimately getting crushed, but I think that one will do well over the next 10 months. We'll see. I don't know if you're talking about Immutable or you're talking about Chainlink. And then Rob, what do you think about Chainlink versus Pith? I think you're going to need an oracle for both, right? But Chainlink is different now. It's like evolved into essentially a layer 1 solution, pretty much. If you take a look at some of the documents that have come out, and Pith is essentially an oracle, again, taking off-chain data, whatever that off-chain data is, and bringing it onto the blockchain so it can do specific things. But that's on Solana. And I actually own a little bit of Pith, so we'll see how it works out. I think Helium is going to do well as well. I think World Mobile will do great. We'll see. Do you guys have ATM fees in Puerto Rico? Oh, yeah. Plenty of that. You never get away with that. Although, like I have USAA because I'm a veteran. And if I use ATM, they cover the fees for me. But I never use cash. So, although I really need to, because if you want to park somewhere here, you need cash. Push up Zua, yeah. Sure, it's not tight enough. Okay, well, I'll get some type of other shirt that'll make hopefully my head not look so big. I see. Rob, I admire what you do. As an ER nurse for years, I've assessed triage many people burned out in COVID. I support your bull market top exile and wish you peace and solitude. Yeah, I tried to. And Beardy's a nurse as well. Wonder how he's doing. I like Beardy. I feel like I'm not in the good books for the pre-show jokes on yesterday's show. Yeah, I would like to bring you guys behind the scenes one of these days about the things that me and Guy and Ben talk about before the show gets better. Let me tell you, like the show that we do is okay. It's pretty good. I like it. But it seems kind of stiff sometimes because we're trying not to talk over each other and we kind of screw that up. But if it was just like if you guys just come before the show starts and hear what we say, it's pretty funny. A lot of it sounds funny. Ben's a real funny guy. And then Guy can cuss like a sailor. That's for sure. Hey, LeBron James just endorsed Kamala Harris. Good for him. Uzi says, did you take profits at 73K? No. I'm going to tell you exactly why. So as everybody knows, I took some profits a couple of weeks ago. And mostly it was all altcoins. I didn't touch my Bitcoin, but I had to because I had to buy real estate, an apartment complex. So when I got that and had the money in, and I was like, okay, that's good. I really didn't want to do it. And this is the funny thing, and we're going to go over this weekend, matter of fact. That video where I show you like when I'm going to sell 80% of my crypto, there's a link in the description. We're going to do a watch along again, and I'm going to update that and ask you guys questions about what do you think should be included into those metrics. Because if there's anything I can tell you, it's that even though I saw a good appreciation, because remember, I've been dollar cost averaging some of these alts, which did pretty well, even at the end of 2022 to today. To take those profits, it kind of hurt because I was like, damn it, I know this will be worth way more in 2025. However, after I took the profits, I go, okay, two things. First of all, I never know what's going to happen behind the scenes. There's a black swan event. If something's going to happen with legal matters, we're going to do another Wells notice or whatnot. And the second thing is that I always know I'm going to feel that way. So I have to make sure that I do it to activate that muscle memory. So in 2025, when I go through the same thing, I'll be like, you know what? I've done this before. I've taken profits. I know what it is. I know it's going to suck. I can never look back at this price. Sell, and that's it. And then the last thing I'll say about taking profits is that if you're taking profits into dollars and just sitting on, that's fine. But at some point, you know that the dollars that you have in the bank are going to melt away like ice cubes. So I can't give you financial advice. You can keep it in dollars, but if you just look at the inflation rate over time and the purchasing power of the dollar, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Assets are the things that will see you through to the next one. And hopefully those assets are appreciative. Because who knows? If I think what's going to happen, this melt up and massive amount of money printing and inflation, I see assets as the big one, and commodities as well. I've never heard that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to steal that from you, meme. That's funny. Bitcoin does fix that. It's true. Frosty P's Bitcoin or Rob will dump. That's actually true. I will dump on every single person in this comment section. So what does that mean? You have to dump it on me before I dump it on you, right? Can't deny a video of LeBron at Diddy's party. Man, I don't know what's going on with that Diddy thing, but I'm glad I don't have to cover that nonsense. That's why I love crypto, because there's a purity. There is a purity in the digital asset space, except on Twitter. Then it gets crazy. But for that stuff, ugh. Wisdom A says, I took profits at all-time highs. Congratulations. Then wait for retraces like 73.73 6 days ago. Now look, we're at 69K again. We're going to load up dollars. Perfect. Good for you, man. Crypto's a huge freak out. Could be. Money printer does go burr. Absolutely. Digital dumping news. Yeah. When Rob dumps us, his name will be Dan. Yeah, exactly right. Now, but you know, the day that I'm going to, because remember, like the day that I start selling is the day that I put that video out. Like I'm not going to sell 80% all in one shot, but I will say like, hey, I sold a bunch, and you know, this is where I step out. So everybody knows it. But at this point, see, like my channel's not that big, right? Like if you notice, like there's other channels that are way bigger and get a lot more views than mine. Now some get less, but I just think that's why, like, I'm just gonna kind of coast into this bull run and right off in the sunset. Rob, any book or author recommendation about finance or econ? Yeah, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, Stoic. That's pretty much one that you needed to know. I think that it's not so much about knowing the X's and O's and the resistance levels and the retracements and stuff that goes along with that. I think mostly, I'd say upper 80% of investing in finance is just the mentality, the mental aspect. And we took a look at this. This was actually yesterday. Guy had taken a look at, it was a document from Kraken where they interviewed, or they had a poll for a big swath of their of their users. And one of the things they found out was that the people who were on a lower income were the ones that would sell the fastest. And it makes sense because you get nervous. When you have a lower income, you don't have much money coming in, and you see like, oh, Bitcoin's gonna be the greatest thing. And you put it in there and all of a sudden it's down 10% in a week. You're like, I gotta get the hell out of here. And I think the ones that actually make it are the ones that doesn't really matter so much about, you know, how much you make or what your net worth is. But I think it's just to have that mentality, which is pretty tough when you're struggling. I've been there. To be able to put that in and go, I have to wait now. And I have to have like at least a minimum of a 4-year time horizon. And I have to take a look at the liquidity. And I have to take a look at what's going on with the macro. And I have to take a look at this and that. I think if you can just do that, that's the biggest thing you can do. Pizza with pineapple and broccoli sounds disgusting. Rob, do you have ETH chart comparing to previous cycles like Bitcoin? We can, though. This is why I like, let me see if I can pull this up. Let's steal some information from Ben's website, shall we? All right. I don't know if I can do this. Oh, I can. So just to compare it, let's take, I don't need this. Oh, that is bad. That is really bad, actually. I don't know if you can see this. So what I'm looking at is ETH year-to-date ROI. Actually, let's take a look at this. Let's be fair. This is what I've been using a lot. ROI, the return on investment after the cycle bottom. So the cycle bottoms are usually it's 1 year after the top, right? So for Bitcoin, it was December 2017, and then the bottom was essentially November 2018, and then it was November 2021, and then it was November 2022, and then of course now we go into this one, so we'll see. But let's just take the asset of ETH to peak. And it's so let's take 2 and 3 out. Here is market cycle 1. This is the beginning, right? 2015 to its bottom, which was the beginning. You can see that the return on investment was like ridiculous, 2,000 some percent. That's not a good one because that's when it was created. Let's take market cycle 2. So you bottomed at December 2018, right? Makes sense. 2017 was the top. Then they bottomed out a year later. So what was the ROI after that? 55x. That's what that is, 55x. The question I have is this: what was the price of Ethereum back on December 15th, 2018? Let's take a look. This is CoinMarketCap.com historical. You can check this out. I like to check these out because I can see just how narrow-minded I get sometimes and how I shouldn't do this. So November 18, 2018, right? December 16th. Let me go back. December 16, 2018. The price of Ethereum, first of all, XRP was the second by market cap digital asset in the world. Crazy. Ethereum's market cap was $8 billion, and the price was 85 bucks for one Ethereum. XRP was 28 cents. Yeah, that's right. So where did we go? Ethereum went from $85 to, I want to say, 5,600 bucks. Yeah, that'd be 55x. So that's just the last cycle, right? Now, how's it doing this cycle? Not too great. It actually, well, I can't say it's not that bad, but it's actually been following here. It's actually above, again, since the bottom. The bottom was June of 2022. Oh, I thought it'd be November, but I guess not. So we can see that it's been pretty close. 2.6, 2.89. Then there was a divergence right here. July 2020 to 2024. And then right here, we were at the same, just in March. Remember that nice rally we had? Because, you know, ETFs coming in, everybody's happy, bang, bang, boom, it's going to be great. Not for Ethereum, but for Bitcoin. And we were right at the same level. And then it just, from here, it just split. Some might say that maybe it wouldn't have rallied if it wasn't for that ETF, which kind of juiced the whole entire market. But since March, it's gone the wrong way as far as return on investment goes. So I can tell you, at this point in time, you would have been up 33x on market cycle 2, which that's April, so that's the top. But it's just been a very long time. Divergence here, same thing over here. So not so great. Again, maybe this is a time for you to load up on Ethereum. Real Raid Boss says, why would you want to own ETH when you can own Sol? It's a good question. Let's think of it this way. And Boss has a good point here. Let's go back here real quick. If we're looking at market cap, and we're looking at also circulating supply and total supply. What the heck? Oh, okay. So Ethereum's market cap is $302 billion. $302 billion. And I know that, of course, the max supply is essentially infinity because everything's by the curve, but their circulating supply and total supply right now matches 120 million. That's it. They'll be able to go up. It's true. But what about Solana? They're pretty close. The circulating supply is 470 million. The circulating supply is 470. Total is 587. I bet you, though, so there's some unlocks coming. We can say that for sure, right? However, the big factor you always take a look at is, what's the market cap? Again, Ethereum's at 302 billion, Solana's at 80 billion. What does that mean? That means that just for Solana to catch up to Ethereum, that's a 4x. It's a 4x. So that would put Solana at what? 690 bucks, somewhere around there. And for Ethereum to double up back to its all-time high, it would be 600 billion plus market cap. So if you're taking a look at like risk versus reward, something to think about. And also, if you're going to talk about utility and you believe in this meme coin super cycle, which I'm not here to debunk that. I mean, I think that people are going to gamble into it. I do. Did you know that Pump.Fun just created 22,000 different meme coins yesterday? Yesterday. What does that mean? That means that people need Solana to do that. It's a Solana-based DEX, essentially. Or it's not even, no, it's not a DEX because you can't really trade. No, you can trade a little bit, I believe. That's 22,000 on a daily purpose, daily reason, which means that you have to keep buying into Solana. So if that's the point, then how far do you think Solana is away from doubling, tripling, quadrupling? Adios, Tesla. Adios. Benny's here. ETH doesn't have an off button like Sol does. It's very true. Wow. Hey, Rob, wondering how long it takes for you to move money from Coinbase to your bank. I sold some Bitcoin and hit the bank in about 12 hours. For me, well, I didn't sell Bitcoin, but just the dollar amounts. It was the next day, but I did it kind of late in the day, so I can't really tell you. But it's not instantaneous, I'll tell you that. Cranston is right. Once you own your home, life gets super easy. You don't have to really think about it. The only down part of it is that you have to Well, there's two things. First of all, you have to obviously pay for all the different upkeep that it takes, which even if you don't have to pay it off, you still have to do it anyhow. It doesn't really matter. And then like if you're going to get sued, it's always better to have debt. So when people look at you and they say, well, should I sue this person or not? This guy doesn't even own his own house. This guy doesn't own his car. He's got a bunch of outstanding debts. Maybe we're going to pass on this one. That's about it. And then people would say, like, I want to do this. There was this post where a guy sold $100,000 worth of Bitcoin in 2013 to buy his apartment. And then, I don't know if he lived in it or if he rented it or what it was, but they said like the same amount of Bitcoin he sold back then would be worth like $3.4 billion. And people said, what an idiot he is. But I thought to myself, I'm like, well, if he sold at the top in 2013 when Bitcoin was roughly around $1,000, then he started dollar cost average when it went down to 200, 300, 400. He might have been able to get a pretty damn good apartment and then live in that and then actually just reaccumulate everything he did before without having to pay. And of course, the money that he had to pay for rent would just go to Bitcoin. I just thought there's different options. That's all. I sold the ton he gave away to buy TANGEM. That's a pretty good buy then. Benjamin Alexander, are you voting for Kamala or Trump? I can't vote because I'm a Puerto Rican resident. Me and Meme can't do it. And that's it. I hear the BRICS nations are looking at XRP. I hear everybody's looking at XRP. It just never seems to move, but that's okay. I still appreciate Ripple and what they did for the entire industry. That's it for today. So look, that's almost an hour, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Like today's video, thumbs up, consider subscribing, all that great stuff. That's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Probably do a nice early video before I go to the beach. And that's it for this one. So thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate you. And I'll see you on the next one. Adios.